Hey friends, welcome back. This lesson is titled The 5 Levels of Human Consciousness. There's more levels, there's infinite levels of consciousness in between the one, then all that there is, and then your very personalized thought level of consciousness. But these 5 levels of consciousness are immediately relevant to your everyday experience, to your everyday investigation processes, to your everyday self-awareness processes, to your everyday creating your reality processes. So I wish to address these 5 so that you have a clearer overview of how the human psyche basically works, how it's ordered, how it's structured. So you will find that inside this lesson, underneath this video, on the lesson page, there is a schematic with these 5 levels of consciousness. The base level is that of I am consciousness. It's your presence consciousness. It's what we rested into in Enlightenment 1, the first Enlightenment course, and the introduction course, the introduction chapter. And this is your base state of I am. This is your natural state of consciousness. This is the basis for everything else that is you, that belongs to you as an individuation of the all that is consciousness to arise inside of. So it's very crucial, but it's not that practical in terms of creating or observing certain things, because it's simply the natural state of your presence consciousness. So what is more interesting is the next level up, which is that level of frequency, the level of vibration, the level of points of view. In a sense, it's inaccurate to say that this is the level of vibration, because everything is vibration, but it's the level of points of view. And we could equate that to your vibrational state of being, or your vibrational understanding of the universe, or your vibrational perspective at any given moment. So in that sense, it's the level of frequency and vibration as well. Because whatever point of view you take on is going to determine your vibrational attitude. So there's the I am consciousness, your core individuation, the point where you become an individuation of the all that is overall consciousness that includes everything. So you are the individuation at the I am level, that I am consciousness level, or you as an individual being. Now it has the ability, as all consciousnesses have, to vibrate at a certain speed, at a certain rate, in certain harmonic frequencies. And points of view are immediately related to your vibrational state of being. So this level of the points of view is basically the point of view through which your particular I am consciousness looks through when it looks at life. So the second level up, one above the I am, is the level where the I am consciousness starts to choose its perspective. It starts to choose its reality. It starts to choose how it wishes to perceive things. And this is a very malleable level. You'll see that there is different parallel perspectives that are drawn on this schematic. And the base one, the center one, being bold, being highlighted, which signifies that represents that that's the particular point of view that your consciousness has chosen to view life through in this moment. But I purposefully included parallel points of view so that you can always be aware of the fact that even though you've chosen one point of view, there's infinite equally valid points of view that may not be as highlighted for you in this moment, but that are nevertheless coexistent with your present point of view, and that each have a different vibratory state of being that comes with that perspective, depending on how much in alignment that perspective is, or how far out of alignment with the fundamental principles of the universe that perspective is. That will determine how good it feels or how bad it feels, as we've learned in previous lessons, and the emotional guidance system. So when consciousness chooses a particular point of view and settles on that, in a sense, that point of view starts to crystallize itself into what we could call a belief. And that brings us to the next level within this schematic. So we can say that beliefs are the same as points of view, but in a slightly more crystallized, manifest state of being. Just like ice is more manifest than water, and water is more manifest than steam, we can, in a sense, say that points of view are steam-like, and beliefs are water-like. They're slightly more crystallized, condensed, contracted in a sense. And Beliefs are really what generate your physical experience. It's what generates your environment. It's what generates the circumstances you attract to yourself. So it's important to understand that beliefs are the result of points of view, because you can change your points of view even when you have a belief. And this is where the idea of fake it till you make it comes in, which sounds terrible, I agree, but it's kind of a fun statement to make, and we can redefine what it actually means. So what does it mean to fake it till you make it? We have all done this our entire lives. We've faked certain points of view, which simply is another word of saying, or another way of saying, we've settled on certain points of view, which are equally valid to the next point of view and the next point of view, and one that's millions of light years in our understanding away. All points of view of the universe through the one's eyes, through the absolute's eyes, are seen as equally valid, and therefore they are. But we as humans settle on certain types of points of view or perspectives that come with certain vibratory frequencies. And when we settle on that, we are in a sense faking it until we make it. So the point of view starts to turn into a belief system very quickly, as soon as we've decided that this particular point of view is the truth, this is reality, this is how things work, this is real. Then that point of view goes, all right, let me manifest myself in terms of a belief or a belief system. Now, a belief still is non-physical, meaning you can't just pick it up and eat it or throw it around. It's not a physical object, obviously. Nevertheless, it's slightly more physical or quasi-physical than the truly non-physical state of vibration and point of view, where consciousness has full freedom to move about through its points of view to see life from all kinds of different perspectives. And you have access to that right now. Even if you have belief systems that are crystallized in a certain way, you may have the sense that some of these may no longer serve you. Some of these have already been outgrown by your evolution. And yet they may still linger around for a little bit. That's because they are slightly more crystallized versions of your points of view, of your previously settled upon points of view, your previously chosen points of view. Any point of view that you previously stated as, okay, this is the truth, this is how it works, boom, it turned into a belief, and then it started generating and attracting certain types of circumstances and experiences into your physical reality. So since beliefs generate reality, it's very important that we become masters of choosing our preferred point of view. Now, like I said, if we have a belief system that is different than the new point of view that feels better to us, but we still have this lingering belief system of the previous points of view that seemed true to us like 5 years ago, or even a day ago, then we have this paradox or this contrast of having certain beliefs, but knowing that they're not absolutely true, but still sort of believing in them, and having access already to a newer point of view, a higher state of consciousness, a higher state of vibration, a higher state of understanding, a more expanded way to see life. In other words, a different point of view that resonates more with your I am soul consciousness. And so then we have the situation where you feel like you are crystallized on a certain vibratory level that does not compute with who you really are or want to be. That's where the fake it till you make it comes in. So now you turn to the new point of view. You place your attention on the new point of view, the new imagination, the new thought form, the new way of seeing life, the new understanding of how this universe works and how worthy you are and who you are and why you are here and what you are capable of, etc. So any point of view about anything regarding life, the universe, existence, God, spirituality, enlightenment, or you as a person, like how worthy you are and who you are. Any type of point of view related to any of these crucial topics that directly address your experience of life. When you choose a new point of view that is fairly new to your belief system, then you have, again, you have this difference. And this is where people can feel like they have to fake it till they make it. And in a sense, that is my suggestion, because that can work. So what you do is you keep repeating that new point of view as you used to do with your previous one, which then turned into a belief system. But now you have this old belief system, but now you keep repeating the new point of view. And so it feels slightly fake. But when you keep repeating that new point of view, it will naturally start to shift your vibratory state in such a way that suddenly what previously seemed fake now starts to seem real, because you start to download feelings from it. As soon as you start to feel the new point of view that you're seeing, your belief system starts to readjust itself, because as soon as we feel a new point of view, as soon as we download the feelings from that new imagination, that new reality, that new state of being, that new perspective or point of view, as soon as we start to feel what we're seeing, how we're seeing life, it starts to seem real to us. So then it starts to shift from feeling like it's a fake point of view, or like you don't really believe in it, to, oh, hey, wait a second, this might actually also be true. This might actually be a relevant, valid point of view. It might actually be able to work in this way. And that's when you start to feel it. And when you start to feel it, you start to believe it. It's like the previous lesson where we practiced seeing it, then feeling it, and then being it, which is the natural process of moving away or shifting from a present paradigm into a new paradigm, or into a new understanding of who you are, or into a new manifestation of who you are. First, we see it. We see the new vision, the new imagination. We're tuning into a parallel reality that seems quite distant from ours. It seems to be removed a little bit from ours. But then, as soon as we start to tune into it more frequently, the fakeness factor starts to disappear, because even though it may seem fake to our belief system, we may think, oh, life works in this particular way, this can never be true, this is not how it works, this is just a fairy tale. But as soon as we keep imagining that very fairy tale reality, or that new alternate paradigm that resonates much more with us, that excites us, or that at least has the potential to excite and accelerate us that much more, it starts to feel fake at first, but then as soon as we imagine it more and more and more and more, suddenly we start to download glimpses. We are actually already shifting closer and closer into vibrational alignment with the new perspective, the new point of view, the new state of being. And then we start to feel it, and when we feel it, the feelings start to convince our belief system that this point of view is no longer fake, it's actually equally valid. That is when we start to be it, to become it, to believe it, to be convinced of it, to act according to it, etc. So this is, again, how we change ourselves completely to true, complete, changed beings. So it's very powerful to know how to access your points of view. And you can do this using imagination, because in a sense, every moment you are having a point of view, you're activating a point of view of life, an understanding, a filter, a way of seeing creation. So simply be aware of what you're saying to yourself right now, of how you're seeing life right now. Are you seeing it from a lens that feels depressive to you? Then it means that your lens or your perspective or your state of being is not in accordance with the truth of the universe, the truth of source, the truth of existence, the truth of your higher self. Do you feel amazing about this moment? Then your perspective of this moment must somehow be in vibrational alignment with the greater understanding of this universe, of existence, of source, of creation, of God, of life, of you as an individual, of your higher self. So when you get in alignment, you start to feel really good. The good feelings start to convince your belief systems that you really do have the capacity to change and to transform and to manifest whatever your heart truly desires with integrity. And then it starts to manifest as belief systems, and then the beliefs will attract that reality. They will manifest, they will shift you into an alternate parallel reality universe where that experience already existed and was already yours to begin with. So, to continue with the schematic of the 5 levels of consciousness, it is beliefs that generate emotions. You cannot have an emotion about something that you don't have a belief about. In other words, I often use the example of the doorknob. So I ask people often think that there is inherent meaning in things. And in the Enlightenment 1 course, we've explored that there is no inherent meaning in events and things. But many people do believe that. They do actually feel that their misery comes from an actual circumstance, because they lack finances, because someone else made them sad, because someone else said something, whatever it is, we project onto our circumstances that there is real meaning in them being transmitted into our state of being. This is energetically impossible. We can only ever give to ourselves a feeling, a belief, a thought, a perspective, an experience, an emotion. So if something in the environment bounces up against your belief system, that belief will then trigger an emotion. Why? to let you know whether or not your perspective, your belief, is in or out of alignment with who you truly are.